Taji, we haven't got Sunita Mataji yet.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Okay, we can ask a volunteer to read in the meantime. Anyone would like to volunteer to read in English?
Hey Krishna Mataji, can I read in English if it's okay?
Yes, that's fine. And if Mataji joins later on, Sunita Mataji, then we can stop.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare
Will do.
Krishna.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Thank
Krishna's
you.
mercy, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, I'll make an announcement now. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This evening we have got two reciters, Sakshi Mataji stepping in, and she'll be reading English translation, and Anuradha Mataji will be reading Sanskrit verses, and they'll be reciting from Canto 3, Chapter 23, verses 30 to 43. Thank you. Mataji, will you start with invocation, please, 3 times? Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. Sorry, Mataji, it's the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's we have to say 3 times, or it's the Mangala Charan?
Om Namo Bhagavate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please unmute yourself, Mataji. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I've unmuted myself, so. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23, verse number 30. अथादर्शे स्वमात्मानं श्रग्विणं विरजाम्बरं विरजं कृत स्वस्त्ययनं कन्याभिर्बहुमानितम्.
Hare Krishna. Then in the mirror she beheld her own reflection. Her body was completely freed from all dirt, and she was adorned with a garland. Dressed in unsullied robes and decorated with auspicious marks of tilak, she was served with very respectfully by the maids.
स्नातं कृतशिरस्नानं सर्वाभरणभूषितं निष्कगृवं वलीनं कूजत् काञ्चननूपुरम्.
Her entire body, including her head, was completely bathed, and she was decorated all over with ornaments. She wore a special necklace with a locket. There were bangles on her wrist and tinkling anklets of gold about her ankles.
श्रोण्योरध्यस्तया काञ्च्या काञ्चन्य बहुरत्नया हारेण च महारेण रोचकेन च भूषितम्.
About her hips she wore a girdle of gold set with numerous jewels, and she was further adorned with a precious pearl necklace and auspicious substances.
सुदता सुभ्रुवश्लक्ष्णा स्निग्धापाङ्गेन चक्षुषा पद्मकोशस्पृधा नीलय अलकैश्च लसन्मुखम्.
Her countenance shone with beautiful teeth and charming eyebrows. Her eyes, distinguished by lovely moist corners, defeated the beauty of lotus buds. Her face was surrounded by dark curling tresses.
यदा सस्मार ऋषभम् ऋषीणां दयितं पतिं तत्र चाष्टे सहस्रीभिर्यत्राष्टे स प्रजापतिः.
Then she thought of her great husband, the best of the sages, Kardama Muni, who was very dear to her. She, along with all the maidservants, at once appeared where he was.
भर्तुपुरस्तादात्मानं त्रिसहस्रवृतं तदा निशम्य तद्योगगतिं संशयं प्रत्यपद्यत.
She was amazed to find herself surrounded by 1,000 maids in the presence of her husband and to witness his yogic power.
तां कृतमलस्नानां विभ्राजन्तीमपूर्ववत् आत्मनो दिव्यं रूपं संवीतरुचिरस्तनिम् विद्याधरी सहस्रेण सेव्यमानां सुवाससं जातो भावो विमानं तत् आरोहयद् अमित्रहन्.
The sage could see that Devahuti had washed herself clean and was shining forth as though no longer his former wife. She had regained her own original beauty as the daughter of a prince. Dressed in excellent robes, her charming breast duly girded, she was waited upon by 1,000 Gandharva girls. O destroyer of the enemy, his fondness for her grew, and he placed her on the aerial mansion.
तस्मिन् अलुप्त महिमा प्रियया नुरक्तो विद्याधरीभिरुपचीर्णवपुर्विमाने बभ्राज उत्कच कुमुद्गलवान् अपि च ताराभिरावृतैवुदो पतिर्नभस्तः.
Though seemingly attached to his beloved consort, while serving by the Gandharva girls, the sage did not lose his glory, which was mastery over his self. In the aerial mansion, Kardama Muni with his consort shone as charmingly as the moon in the midst of the stars in the sky, which causes rows of lilies to open in the ponds at night.
तेनास्तलोकपविहारकुलचालेन्द्र द्रोणीष्वनङ्गसखा मारुतसौभगासु सिद्धैर्नुतोद्युधुनिपात शिव स्वनासु रेमे चिरं धनधवल्ललनावरुथि.
In that aerial mansion, he traveled to the pleasure valleys of Mount Meru, which were rendered all the more beautiful by cool, gentle, fragrant breezes that stimulated passion. In these valleys, the treasurer of the gods, Kuvera, surrounded by beautiful women and praised by the Siddhas, generally enjoys pleasure. Kardama Muni, also surrounded by the beautiful damsels and his wife, went there and enjoyed for many, many years.
वैश्रम्भके सुरसने नन्दने पुष्पभद्रके मानसे चैत्ररथ्ये च स रेमे रामया रतः.
Satisfied by his wife, he enjoyed in that aerial mansion not only on Mount Meru, but in different gardens known as Vaishrambhaka, Surasana, Nandana, Pushpabhadraka, and Chaitraratya, and by the Manas Sarovar lake.
भ्राजिष्णुना विमानेन कामगेन महीयसा वैमानिकान् अत्यसेत चरल्लोकान् यथानिलः.
He traveled in that way through the various planets as the air passes uncontrolled in every direction. Coursing through the air in that great and splendid aerial mansion, which could fly at his will, he surpassed even the demigods.
किं दुरापादनं तेषां पुंसामुद्दामचेतसाम् आश्रितस्तीर्थपदश्चरणो व्यसनान्यत्ययः.
What is difficult to achieve for determined men who have taken refuge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet? His feet are the source of sacred rivers like the Ganges, which put an end to the dangers of mundane life.
प्रेक्षयित्वा भुवो गोलं पत्न्यैयावान् स्वसंस्थया बहव आश्चर्यमहायोगी स्वाश्रमाय न्यवर्तत.
After showing his wife the globe of the universe and its different arrangements, full of many wonders, the great yogi Kardama Muni returned to his own hermitage.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you for giving me this opportunity, and please.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sakshi Mataji. Thank you, Sakshi Mataji and Anuradha Chitavu Mataji. Very beautifully recited. Thank you so much. And thank you, dear devotees, for kindly joining this evening to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and also giving this opportunity to speak a few words on Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we shall enter into Srimad Bhagavatam with Mangalacharan prayers, offering our obeisances to Acharyas, Gurus, Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Radha and Krishna, and everyone else. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांशं श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशम्। हे कृष्ण करुणसिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकासस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृणुतं स्वकतः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृद्यन्तस्त्वह्य भद्राणि विजुनोति सुहृत्सताम्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकीम्। एते चांशकलाः पुंसः कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्रारिव्याकुलं लोकं रुडयन्ति युगे युगे। इदं भागवतं नाम पुराणं ब्रह्मसंहितम् उत्तमश्लोकचरितं चकार भगवान् ऋषिः निःश्रेयसाय लोकधन्यं स्वस्तये नमः। कृष्णे स्वदामोपगते धर्मज्ञानादिभिः सह खलु न शुरुषामेष पुराणर्कोऽधिनोदितः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजङ्ग्रये। अथ विश्वेश विश्वात्मन् विश्वमूर्तिस्वकेषु मे स्नेहपाशम् इमं चिन्तिदृढं पाण्डुषु विष्णुषुं त्वयि मेनन्यविषया मतिर्मदपते असकृत् रतिमुद्वाहत गङ्ग्यव भूदन्वतीं। श्रीकृष्ण कृष्ण सख विष्णु ऋषभावनिध्रोग्राजन्यों शिदहनाना पवर्घवीर्य गोविन्द गोद्विजसुरार्ति हरावतार योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते योगेश्वर किल गुरो भगवन् नमस्ते तुलयामलवेनापि न स्वर्गं न पुनर्भवं भगवत्सङ्गीसङ्गस्य मच्चानं किमुताशिषः पुनश्च भूयाद्भगवत्यनन्ते रतिः प्रसङ्गाश तदाश्रयेषु महस्तु यामुप्यां सृष्टिं मैत्रस्य सर्वत्र नमो द्विजेभ्यः ॐ नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामिने गौरत्विषे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यमीश्वरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे बालोऽपि यदनुग्रहात् तरेणानमतग्राह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्तसागरं श्रीचैतन्यप्रभुं वन्दे यत्पादाश्रीविरितः सङ्गृणाचाकरव्रातात् अज्ञः सिद्धान्तसन्मनीन् ॐ नमो भगवते राधा गोविन्दाय नमः Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you for kindly waiting. Okay, I shall share my screen. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have been discussing Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 23. This is the lamentation of Devahuti. So in this chapter, so Kaddama Prajapati, he has created a very big a flying palace. It contains so many of the floors and so many of statues, so many ponds and birds and everything, and it is made with all gold, jewels, like that. Okay, and it will fulfill all the desires of the persons who enters there. So there, Devahuti, by serving, she was being served by so many of the young maidens and looking after Devahuti. So within that situation, Kaddama Prajapati, he is enjoying with Devahuti. So that one, just to recap in the few shlokas. So there, Kaddama Prajapati, wherever he has traveled, प्रेक्षित्व भुवगोलं पत्न्यावान् स्वसंस्थया बहु आश्चर्य महायोगी स्वाश्रमाय न्यवर्तत and प्रेक्षित्व भुवगोलं. So he has roamed around the earth planet. Bhogolam patnaihi yavan swasamstaya. And then he has showed so many different places, and also he has gone to different planets also. And Bahu Asharyam, and it is so wonderful. Mahayogi Shwashramaya Nyavattata. After showing everything to Devahuti, and Kaddama Prajapati returned back to his ashram. And then there, still Devahuti, their lust is not satiated. So there at that time, Kaddama Prajapati, he has expanded himself into 9 forms. And then he has fulfilled the desires of the Devahuti. Okay, so on all the times, so many years, that are just like passed in a moments of, it appearing like a moments of time. So when he was expanded himself into 9 forms, Vibhajya Navadatmanam Manavim Surata Uchukam. Surata Uchukam. So here Devahuti is addressed like she is more inclined for the enjoyment. Ramam Viramayan Reme Varshapogan Muhurtavat. And Ramam Viramayan. So when they're enjoying, Kaddam Prajapati is enjoying with his wife, Varshapogan Muhurtavat, so many years just passed in a moment of time. So this is the last, until this point in the last session it was discussed. So today we are going to cover from the 45 shloka to 49 shlokas. So here in this 5 shlokas, all this time, whatever the time it has been spent, they could not even observe it, how many years passed. So likewise, 100 years were passed. 100 years were passed. And then after understanding Devhuti's heart, because now he has expanded himself into 9 forms, And Devhuti now desiring in her heart that if I have got a child from which expansion, possibly in such a way, he understood that, and on the same day he has injected the semen into the womb of Devhuti, and 9 children were born, and all the girls, 9 girls were born, and they are very beautiful, and so much of smell were coming from the girls. So likewise, after he gave birth to the Devhuti gave birth to the 9 daughters. At that time, Kaddama Prajapati has previously agreed with the Swayambhumanu, who is the father of Devhuti. So after I gave my semen to Devhuti and children are born, and then I will leave to engage myself in the devotional service. So until that point, we are going to discuss. So starting from the Shloka 45. So here, in that aerial mansion, Devhuti in the company of her handsome husband, situated on the excellent bed that increased their sexual desires, could not realize how much time was passing. Okay, we shall recite the shloka and then further discuss on that. Tasmin viman utkrustam sayyam ratikarim shrita न चाबुध्यत कालं पश्चापीच्येन संगता tasmin vimana utkrishtam. So in that vimana, airplane, so that divyam, that airplane is sarva kama dugam divyam, this is sarva kama dugam divyam. It will fulfill all the desires. Sarva kama dugam divyam, sarva ratna samanvitam, sarvadhuruti buddhi upachay udarkam manistam baihu upaskritam. So what it means here, sarva kama dugam divyam. It will fulfill all the desires. So tasmin viman utkrishtam, that excellent airplane, they are enjoying in that airplane, which will fulfill all the desires. Sayyam ratikarim shrita, and they have got very good blades. Those beds are also descriptions also given very nicely. In those beds, ratikarim, increasing sexual desires, shrita, situated on, nacha budjata tam kala, nacha budjata tam kalam, and they did not notice how much time it has been passed. Nacha abujjata tam kalam, the time, how much time. Abujjata, she did not notice. And Pachapichena Sangata. So whenever she is spending with her husband, who is most handsome person in that company, Devhuti did not notice how much time was passed. Tasmini Vimana Utkrishtam Seyam Satkari Ratikarim Shrita Nacha Budjata Tam Kalam Pachapichena Sangata. The translation. In that aerial mansion, Devhuti, in the company of her handsome husband, situated on an excellent bed that increased sexual desires, could not realize how much time was passing. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, sex indulgence is so enjoyable for materialistic people that when they engage in such activities, they forget how time is passing. Saint Kadma and Devhuti, in their sex indulgence, also forgot how time was passing by. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here, Kadma Prajapati, if we reflect, he has meditated for 10,000 years to just beget a wife who is suitable. Samana Seelam Gruhamed Dhenum. Tata Sachaham Parivodakamaha Samana Seelam Gruhamed Dhenum. Oh, my dear Lord, I would like to enter into the Grihastha Dharma. So just please bless me in such a way I will get the Samana Seelam, equivalent, who can understand me when I am executing the Grihastha duty. Samana Seelam Gruhamed Dhenum. So he asked in such a way. So now he has got the wife, suitable wife, who is working and serving him very nicely. Vishrambhena, Atmasauchena, Gauravena, Damena cha, Sustrushaya Sraddhane, Shusrushaya Shraddhaya, Vacha Mudraya cha Vabu. Vacha Madhuraya cha bhoho. And she speaks very gently only for the well-wishing of her husband. So she is cooperating wife. So in such a way, the husband is always attracted to the wife. And when Kapil Bhagavan describes in the a husband generally in the materialistic nature, the people when they have good wife, they are engage all of their atma akshipta atmindriya strinam asitinam mayaya akshipta atmindriya strinam asitinam maya raho rachita yalapaihi shishunam kalabhashinam raho rachita yalapaihi. So in a just in a secluded place, they will have so many times, good times. The husband he engages all his atmindriya, akshipta atmindriya strinam. That's why the knot is very strong. The knot is very strong. It is very difficult to cut that knot. Akshipta atmindriya strinam, but it is asitinam maya. It is not the permanent relationship. But if because he is attracted to his wife, and then he may need to come back, or he may take a womanly body in the next life because he is attracted to the woman body. That again Kapil Bhagavan describes. And when he has got bigger children in the home, Sisunam Kalabhasinam, and when they're speaking very nicely and cutely, he is so much of attracted. All his pains outside, he will forget whatever the work he is working in the outside industries. They are Ardhakarana Nisinisayana Nano Mano Radadhya Kshanabhagna Nidraha. So people work in day and night, even though they lose sometimes sleep in the night. But as soon as he comes to the wife and the children, and then he will forget all those things. If wife is not cooperating to such husband, then it is a hellish life for him. So he has to work so many things. Otherwise, it is very difficult for him to survive working and no cooperation at home. So here, Prabhupada is mentioning sex indulgence is so enjoyable for materialistic people that when they engage in such activities, they forget how time is passing. So this is how time is passing. So, and it is Maya, it will take all our time. But saintly people look at these Grihasthas or Gruhamedis, they are more compassionate because their time is being robbed by the material nature. All of their lifespan is being reduced by sunrise and sunset. आयुर्हरितवैपुंसां बुद्धिन्नस्तं चेन्नसौ तस्याद्य शृणोनीत उत्तम श्लोकवार्तया. Except the devotees of the Lord who are discussing the topics of the Lord, everyone else's lifespan is being reduced by sunrise and sunset. And Vidura, he also so compassionate addressing तान् सोच्य सोचान् विधोनु सोचे हरेः कथायां विमुखानगेन क्षीणोति देवो अनिमिषस्तु येषाम् आयुर्वृधावाद गति स्मृतीनाम्. So he mentions to Maitreya Muni, Vidura mentions to Maitreya, I am so compassionate about all these people, how they are spending and wasting all of their time in the useless works and ignoring the Krishna Katha. This is how the devotees are compassionate because they are wasting their time. They are not endeavoring to execute the devotional service because they have to practice how to remember Krishna at the end of their life while they quit the body. That's Antakale Chamam Yiva Smaran Muktva Kalevaram Yah Prayat Samadbhavam Yati Nasti Atra Samsayaha. It is possible who is engaged all the time in the devotional service, not for other people, even though they may be logically thinking that I may remember it. Just remembering how much time it will take, a few minutes, but that is not that much easy because throughout the life, it will be compressing everything in a moments of time. All the lifespan will be compressed. Then it will be how much percentage you have executed devotional service. So liberation, it is not only for permanence. So here, once we go, if we are going into a different country for a particular purpose, I need to go from different country. So either skilled visa, they will allow us. And then once I go there, I have to work on particular job only. Similarly, once if we leave this material world, enter into the spiritual realm, there we must have a service to be executed towards the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we do not know what to do there, even though the liberation has no meaning, that's why devotees, even though they are given the liberation, Salokya Saristi Samipya Sarupya Ekatm Apyuta Demanam Nagruhnanti Vina Matsevanam Janaham. The devotees, unless they complete their devotional service, practically experience it now. So we have generally people called like skilled devotees, expert devotees. They know how to execute the devotional service. Once they are equipped with how to execute those devotional service, then they know what to do in the Vaikuntha planets further. So for that purpose, the Lord says that my devotees did not desire even liberation also. The Salukya, Sariti, Samipya, Sarupya, Ekatvam, 5 kinds of liberations. Even the Lord give, they do not take it because they wanted to engage in the devotional service. When you are engaging in the devotional service, it doesn't matter whether you are in the spiritual planet or in the material world. There is no difference. You carry out the same activities. Okay, so but here in this material world, there is a time influence. So here the time, how the time, and whenever the couple are engaging in these activities, the homely activities are enjoying things, Bhogaishwarya Prasaktanam, Tayapapruta Chetasam, Vyavasayatmika Buddhihi Samadhu Navidiyate. When they're engaging themselves in enjoyment, to execute devotional service, that thought does not come into the mind at all. Vyavasayatmaka buddhihi samadho na vidhiyate. It does not come. That's why devotees like Kunti Maharani, Vipadaha santuhataha shashvat tatra jagadguru bhavato darshanam apunar bhava darshanam. They ask for the troubles in their life. They ask for the troubles and problems so that they will remember the Lord in all times and circumstances. If they're enjoying like normally everyone else, their senses are pleased, so they do not get a thought to remember the Lord, to execute a devotional service. Okay, so that is how the material world works. And Saint Kadma and Devhuti in their sex religions also forgot how time was passing by. Okay, so that is generally in our world, some people, as soon as they get married, they go to different places, honeymoons to different towns. Now, Kadma Prajapati taking Devhuti in that palace, he has gone to Bhogolam, Prekshita Bhogolam, entire planet, and also different planets as well. Okay, so that is from this particular shloka. We shall move to the next shlokas, the 46. So here in this shloka, what how many years it has been passed when they were enjoying like that, it is described 100 years passed. एवं योगानुभावेन दम्पत्यो रममाणयोः शतं वितीयुः शरदः कामलालसयोर्मनाक् एवं योगानुभावेन एवं योग अनुभावेन. So here it is described thus yoga anubhavain, by yogic powers. So we want this Kadma Prajapati, he is a mystic. He created that airplane by his mystic powers. And then yoga anubhavena dhampatya ramamanayoho. Dampatya, the couple, ramamanayoho, while enjoying themselves, ramamanayoho, Satam vitiyuhu saradaha, and 100 years passed, 100 autumns, saradaha, autumns, Satam 100, and vitiyuhu, that many years were passed. Satam vitiyuhu saradaha, kamalalasa yor manak, and sexual pleasure, lalasayaha, so who were eagerly longing for, manak, like a short time. All that many years passed in a just moment of time, just like a short time. Evam yoga anubhavena dampatya ramamanayoho, and satam vitiyuhu saradaha kamalalasa yormanak. So translation. While the couple who eagerly longed for sexual pleasure were thus enjoying themselves by virtue of mystic powers, 100 atoms pass like a brief span of time. Okay, there is no purpose. So as we have discussed already, 100 years passed. Now after that, what has happened? Let us move on to the next shloka. And here, and then they have returned to their ashrama, their hermitage, where that place is, which is next to the Saraswati river. And then understanding the Devhuti's heart, he has expanded himself into 9 forms. And then, because her desire was to beget a children through Kadama Prajapati. So that was previously, she asked for that one. Now, he is going to fulfill that desire. तस्यामादत्तरेतस्तां भावयन्नात्मनात्मवेत् नोदाविदाय रूपं स्वं सर्वसङ्कल्पविद्विभुः तस्यामादत्त रेतः. Now, tasyam into Devhuti, adatta, and he deposited retaha, semen. Tasyam adatta retas tam, her, bhavayan atmana atmavit. Bhavayan, and regarding atmana as half of himself. So generally, wife is called Ardhangi, who is the half of the husband, Ardhangi. So knowing the Bhavyan Atmana Atmavit, the knower of the spirit soul. So he understands what Devhuti is desiring. So he has deposited the semen into the womb of Devhuti. Tasya Madattaretastam Bhavayan Atmana Atmavit. And how he has deposited? Nodha Vidhaya Rupam Swam Nodha Vidhaya. So there are Nodha is into 9 forms. So he has already expanded 9 forms. So Nodha Vidhaya, having divided himself into 9 forms, Rupam Swam, and body, and Swam, his own body. Sarva Sankalpavid, the knower of all desires, Vibhuku, the powerful Kadma Prajapati. And he has deposited the 9 the semens into the womb of Devhuti. Tasyamadataretastam bhavayan atmana atmavit noda vidhaya rupam swam sarvasankalpavid vibhuhu. Okay, translation. The powerful Kadama Muni was the knower of everyone's heart, and he could grant whatever one desired. Knowing the spiritual soul, he regarded her as a half of his body. Dividing himself into 9 forms, he impregnated Devhuti with 9 discharges of semen. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Since Kadamuni could understand that Devhuti wanted many children, at the first chance, he begot 9 children at one time. He is described here as Vibhu, the most powerful master. By his yogic power, he could at once produce 9 daughters in the womb of Devhuti. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So again, here, whenever Prabhupada is describing based on the Smriti Shastra, when there is so much of the eggs are released from the womb of mother, and at that time, most chances for begetting daughters. And when there is most semen is generated, at the time, the chance for begetting the boys. Okay, so likewise, Smriti Shastra says, and here, so Devhuti was asking for children from Kadama Prajapati. Now he is begetting all the 9 children at one time. So that's why he is described as Vibhuhu, the most powerful master. So by yogic power, just like he created the aeroplane, in the similar way, by his yogic power, he expanded himself into the 9 forms. By this time, he has been a devotee, he has got mystic powers, and he is completely purified. His consciousness is perfect. Consciousness is perfect. In that state, he is begetting the children. So out of those children, we see Anusuya Mata is one of the child, and we know how powerful the Anusuya Mata, Sati Anusuya. Even she made the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar into babies. We see in a different Purana. So such kind of daughters were born from the womb of Devahuti Mata. So here, all by Kaddama Prajapati. So he has received the benedictions from the Lord. So that's why, by his yogic power, he could at once produce 9 daughters in the womb of Devahuti. Okay, so that is from this shloka. Okay, and then we shall move to the next shloka as well, 48th shloka. So here, those children, the day whenever he deposited the semen, on the same day, all the children were also born on the same day. So likewise, next shloka is described. So here everything is being Maitreya Muni speaking to with all these pastimes of Kadama Prajapati and Devahuti, all those. अतः सा सुसवे सज्जो देवहूतिः स्त्रियः प्रजाः सर्वाः ताः चारु सर्वाङ्ग्यो लोहितो उत्पलगन्धयः अतः सा सुसुवे सज्जो अतः सा सुसुवे then she Susuve gave birth to Sajjaha on the same day. Ataha sa Susuve Sajjo Devhuti. On the same day she gave birth to the children. Devhuti Striha Prajaha. Devhuti Striyaha and females. Striyaha Prajaha Prajani. She gave birth to 9 daughters. Females, all the females. Sarvaha Tasha Guru Sarvangyo. Sarva, all the Chauru Sarva Angyaha, charming in every limb. Those daughters are very beautiful and perfectly formed bodies. And Lohita Utpala Gandayaha, and Lohita is red color, Utpala like the lotus, Gandayaha, fragrant. All those 9 daughters, they're just like a red lotus flower, fragrant. They are smelling like that. अतः सा सुसुवे सद्यो देवहूतिः स्त्रियः प्रजाः सर्वाः ताश्च चारु सर्वाङ्घ्यो लोहित उत्पलगन्धयः. Translation. Immediately afterward, on the same day, Devahuti gave birth to 9 female children, all charming in every limb and fragrant with the scent of the red lotus flower. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Devahuti was too sexually excited, and therefore she discharged more ova, and 9 daughters were born. It is said in the Smriti Shastra as well as in the Ayurveda that when the discharge of the male is greater, male children are begotten, but when the discharge of the female is greater, female children are begotten. It appears from the circumstances that Devahuti was more sexually excited, and therefore she had 9 daughters at once. All the daughters, however, were very beautiful and their bodies were nicely formed. Each resembled a lotus flower and was fragrant like a lotus. Okay, so this is the children were born on the same day. And here, as per the one side, if we look at the signs, the children, it takes the 9 months to beget a children. So, कर्मणा धैवनेत्रेण जन्तुः देह उपपत्तये स्त्रियः प्रविष्टवद्धरं पुंसः रेतः कणाश्रयः. So karmana dhaivanetreena, by the divine supervision, jantuho dehu uhotaye, a living entity get a particular type of body, either male body or woman, male body or female body or cat, dog, anything. Karmana dhaivanetreena jantuho dehu uhotaye. Striyaha pravishtabadharam, in the womb of the mother, pumsaharetah kanashrayaha, the male injects the semen, and then ekam tu kalalam tu ekaratrena. So in the first night it will mix, the egg cells mix with the semen. Kalalam tu ekaratrena pancharatrena budbhudam dasahena tu karkanduho pesendam va tataha param. This is for the ordinary human beings, how it happens. So in the first night, the semen and the ovum got mixed, and then it will form like a small bubble. Kalalum tekarate pancharate budbudam. In the fifth night, small bubble. Dasai henatu karkanduhu. On the 10th night, it like a berry. Pesendam va tataha param. Later on, it grows like a andam. Pesendam va ataha param. So that Kapil Bhagavan describes what happens in the first month and second month and third month, fourth month, fifth month. And then whenever 6 months starts, he gets hungry. And the seventh month, he feels so much of troubles in the womb of the mother. And then he started offering prayers. This is what happens to the human. Likewise, he lives for 9 months in the womb of the mother. But in the case of Devhuti, she gave the birth to the all 9 beautiful children on the same day. So here it is described Vibhuhu Kaddama Prajapati. He is having a Sarva Sankalpa Vid Vibhuhu. He is the mystic power. He has got mystic powers. And in our scriptures also, for Vyasadeva as well. When Parashara Muni begot a child in the womb of Satyavati, the child was born on the same day and he has grown. And then Vyasadeva said to his mother that, Mother, please grant me permission. I will leave now. And when you remember me, I will come. Likewise, he goes to the Himalayas. Okay, so that is when the mystic yogis, when they beget, the children are like, they grow, they take birth immediately and also grow immediately. And also there are so many other pastimes also. Sometimes we see some of the Puranas, when the demons give birth to the child immediately grows to the as much big as the mother. So that again there is a Parvati's benediction on those demonic children. So something like that we see in other part of the scriptures. Okay, so this is how this part is described. All these 9 daughters, they are very beautiful and resembled lotus flower and was fragrant like a lotus. Okay, and also more semen is discharged than male children, more bova is discharged than female children are born. Okay, as per the Shmruti Shastra, Smriti and Ayurveda as well. Okay, that is from this shloka. We shall move to the next shloka as well. And now, so as per the promise that Kadama Prajapati gave to Swayambhumanu and Devhuti while he is getting married in the beginning, so that as soon as he impregnated Devhuti, he said he would leave. Now that time has come. Now, whenever husband is leaving, now Devhuti is a bit perturbed by looking at the husband leaving home. Okay, so this is the 49th shloka. पतिं सा प्रव्रजिष्यन्तं तदा लक्षवुशति बहिः स्मयमानविक्लवेन हृदयेन विदूयत. पतिं सा प्रव्रजिष्यन्तं and patim, her husband, sa pravishyantam, and what she pravishyantam, when her husband is going to leave home, tada, then alakshya, after seeing her husband, vushiti bahihi, and beautiful bahihi, outwardly. Now it is a very awkward situation for Devhuti, but outside she is appearing like a vushiti bahihi, very nicely and beautifully, smayamana, smiling, and viklavena, and also got agitated in the hrudayena, within the heart. She is now perturbed and agitated, but outside she is appearing like smiling. And then viduyata, being distressed. She is being distressed. This is very in our the scriptures. The father, he has to give the protection to the wife and to the children. When there is a proper protection, then husband can leave the home after arranging that. But as per the promise in the beginning, he is about to leave. Okay, at the time, Devhuti is a bit distressed. Patim sa pravrajisyantam tada lakshito ushiti bahihi smayamana viklavena hrudayena vidhuyata. So, translation. When she saw her husband about to leave home, she smiled externally, but at her heart she was agitated and distressed. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kardama Muni finished his household affairs quickly by his mystic power. The building of the castle in the air, traveling all over the universe with his wife in the company of beautiful girls, and begetting of children were all finished. And now, according to his promise to leave home for his real concern of spiritual realization after impregnating his wife, he was about to go away. Seeing her husband about to leave, Devhuti was very disturbed, but to satisfy her husband, she was smiling. The example of Kardamuni should be understood very clearly. A person whose main concern is Krishna consciousness, even if he is entrapped in household life, should always be ready to leave household enticement as soon as possible. So this is a Krishna conscious person. He is always concerned when he would relieve from the family affairs. So even if he is entrapped, and also he is ready to leave if he is a fully Krishna consciousness, but he executes his duties properly until otherwise it will give a misinformation to everyone else. Yad yadachariti shrestha tat deve tarunarha sayat pramanam kurute lokaha tad dhanuvattate. He will act like a model. He will act like a role model to the society. Once he finishes household duties and if there is enough protection to the wife and children, then he will leave. So here, but a Krishna consciousness person, all of his activities, so his activities and his senses, everything, his speech, everything under the divine Krishna supervision. Because he, Krishna says, Name Bhakta Prince, my devotee will never ever be perished. Krishna also gives assurance to his devotees. My devotee will never ever perish. And also, Dehopi Devashakaha Kalu Karmaya Vatswarambakam Prati Samikshata Eva Sasuhu. Tam sa prapancham adhirod samadhi yogaha. Tam sa prapancham adhirod samadhi yogaha. Swapnam punar na bhajate prati buddha vastuhu. Swapnam punar na bhajate prati buddha vastuhu. What is prati buddha vastu? Is the devotional service. The relationship is established with the Lord. And now, because he has attained that prati buddha vastu, because of that, all of his activities, his body, his words, and his speaking, his activities, everything, dehopi daivoshagaha. Everything under the control of the Lord, along with his senses. Dehopi daivashakha kalu karma yavat swarambhakam pratisamikshita eva sasuhu. And the activities which he has performed in so many lifetimes and so many of those things, all the karma, good karma, everything come under the divine supervision. Now Lord knows how to nullify all those things. Okay, so that is the devotee's life. So he's always be ready to leave household enticement as soon as possible. But here, Devhuti is also very intelligent. Later on, she is going to speak. My dear husband, you have, as promised, you have fulfilled everything. Now, because you are leaving, now just make arrangement for my safety as well. Because now I have got all daughters, and as soon as they get married, and they will go with their husbands. Now, what about me? So this is also one side angle. She also speaks in such a way. But now all this time, what has happened? The realization is coming to Devhuti now. So far enjoyed. Ye tavatalam kalena vitikrantena me prabho indriyadda prasangena parichakta paratmanaha. Because they have spent all the time. She has served her husband very nicely and enjoyed for next 100 years. Now what about the devotional service? So she laments later on. That is, etavatalam kalena vitikrantena me prabho indriyadda prasangena parichakta paratmanaha. She has neglected the paratma. So, but when this is one angle, and other side, if you look at the Devhuti's father, Swayambhumanu, his life is so, he has given his daughter to Kadam Prajapati, and then he went to his palace in the Brahmavatta, where Barshmati is the capital and where it is Kasha grass are there. He worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead appropriately. How? Sabariha, Saprajaha, Kaman, Bubuje, Anya, Avirodataha, Sangeyaman, Satkitihi, Sastribihi, Suragayakaihi, Prativushesu, Anabaddena, Pradashanvan, Harehe Kataha. So how beautiful he is spending his wife and the rest of the children. Sabariha, Saprajaha, Kaman, Bubuje, Anya, Avirodataha, Sangiman, Satkitihi, Sastribihi, Suragayakaihi, Prativushesu, Anubaddena, Pradashanvan, Harehe Kataha. Every day morning, every day morning here chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and then hearing Bhagavatam every day. Prativushesu Anubaddena, Pradashanvan, Harehe Kataha. That is Swayambhuman. That is, he is one of the Mahajan, Swayambhuman. But here in this Devahutis and Kadam Prajapati, 100 years they are enjoying. But we do not see this 100 years they have executed devotional service. But Kadama Prajapati remembers, he is a mystic yogi. He remembers his constitutional position. But Devahuti, she forgot about that. And then later on, she realizes that Indriyarda Prasangena Parityakta Paratmana. Oh my dear Lord, I forgot all this about the devotional service. What about me? And then she remembers, because she is the daughter of Swayambhumanu, she knows what is the purpose of human life and what is association of a devotee husband. She mentions Indriyadesu sajjancha prasanga swayame krutaha ajanancha parambhavam tatapyastu abhyayame. And even though for the sake of sense gratification, if she is having association with a devotee husband, unknowingly also, then she will receive this abhayam, because there is the so powerful association of a devotee. That's why devotees, a moment of devotees association, it is not even comparable to the liberation. So that is her realization coming to the next. So here at the moment she is just with outside. She smiled externally, but at heart she was agitated and distressed. Okay, her conversations are in the last 5 shlokas of this chapter. They are beautiful reflections. It will give so much of insight for everyone of us. We have to reflect those things. So and then she also meant Sangoyaha samstere hetuhu asatsu vihito adhiya. And Saiva sadhu sukruto nisangatvaya kalpate. She mentions the importance of sadhu sangha. Even though one is living perfectly in human life, wife is perfect, husband is perfect, they are earning so much of money, children are listening, but there is no devotional service. Better, so comparing that, it has no value for such kind of things. So here, Saiva sadhu shukruto nisangatvaya kalpate. And if you have associated with the sadhus, then nisangatvaya kalpate. And she mentions Nehayat karma dharmaya naviragaya kalpate. Nati dapada sevaya jivannapi mrutohi saha. If one does not get a detachment and take to the devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord, then jivannapi mrutohi saha. Even though he is living, he is considered as a dead body. Because just every day eating, sleeping, and mating and defending. That is what he does. Going to office, work like a dog or donkey and a pig. So, swavitpira hustakarihi samstaha purushaha pasuhu nait karna patoped jatu nama gadagrajaha. He does not take to the glorified Supreme Lord. He does not sing any kirtan. His life is jivannapi mrutohi saha. His life is like a dead body. This is Devhuti's statement. And in such a way, Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Maya Dhudam Yatvam Mukidhim Prapya Namamukshe Bandhanat. I was being cheated by the external energy of the Lord. Saham Bhagavato Nunam Vanchita Maya Dhudam Maya Dhudam. This Maya has cheated me. This is Devhuti's reflection. And Yatvam Vimuktidam Prapya Namamukhe Bandhanat. Even though I got a chance to get relieved from the material entanglement when I have got a devotee husband, but I did not desire for that one. In such a way, devotee is laments. Okay, that is very beautiful things. So we would see in the later sessions. Okay, so at the moment, I stop here. And I request, dear devotees, if you have got any questions or if anything is striking your mind or you wanted to share anything, so kindly ask questions or kindly share. Hare Krishna. No questions or no sharings, no reflections. So asking questions or even the something, just converse, that will also help. You don't know, you don't have to ask real questions, but conversing something, just can you please let me. So it will, that Bhagavatam Katha, it will automatically, it invoke all auspicious to everyone as well. Yeah, likewise, everyone will also be benefited.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much for the very nice class. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Bye.
Prabhuji, I'd like to ask you a question, please. It's not related to the text today that you discussed. If I may, please.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, in all the in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we come across such nice, auspicious names like Kardama Muni and all the other names. How did all these names originate, please?
So this is by their activity or karma, how they have appeared, or for example, uh, we know Agastya Rishi, they were born from the pot, something like that, and Vasistha also before, later on in the second time when they were born. Like as Kadama, it is, I think. He was born, I don't remember exactly what part of the body of Brahma he was born. Based on how they have appeared, so they will take the name similar accordingly. And because Brahma gave name to Lord Shiva as Rudra because he was loudly crying. As soon as he was born, he was Rudatam. He was crying loudly. That's why he was called Rudra, based on the quality or activity. And Brahma is a personified intelligence. Vijnana Shakti. So here, Nabrihadi Hasatom Basyasya Pumso Vijnana Shakti Rahamasana Mananta Shakti is Vijnana Shakti, Brahma, the four-headed Brahma. Okay, that is Brahma is means all the Vedic knowledge as well. Intelligence based on their activity, how they have appeared and what they are doing. And for example, Prithu Maharaja's son, Vijitasva, because he has defeated Indra, that's why he got Vijita. Arjuna has got so many names. Dhananjaya, because he has acquired lots of wealth from North. He went around the world and then got so much of wealth for his brother to perform yajna. So he got named Dhananjaya. And he has received the crown from the Indra, that's why he is Kiriti. Likewise, Padda, and because of his son of Pruta, that's why Padda. How they have appeared and what they have performed based on their activities and birth. But here, the great sages, the names, just by remembering their names itself, all our homes will be completely purified by just. It is described in the first canto of 19th chapter, where many sages were coming and attending the Parikshit Maharajas that time when Sukadeva Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam. So there Sadhya Suddhintve Gruhaha Kim Punad Darshana Pada Soch Asanadibihi Yesham Samsmanam Pumsam Sadhya Suddhintve Gruhaha Kim Punad Darshana Pada Soch Asanadibihi. Just by remembering Samsmaram Pumsam Sadhyaha Sujjanti Vigruhaha, the home, everything will be sanctified just by remembering those names of the sages. And what to speak if we just invite them and wash their feet, sprinkle the water on top of us. Kim Punad Darshana Pada Saucha Asanadibihi, and giving a flower garlands to them and pleasing them and glorifying them. So those are the glories. But yes, by their appearance, by their activities, they get their names.
I see. Thank you very much for explaining that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhupada. Thank you.
It's really nice to understand that. So my question is, what lesson we learn from Devbhuti for our daily practices, and why this story is so important in Bhagavad Gita, if Bhagavad Srimad, anything you can explain more a little bit?
So Srimad Bhagavatam, it contains 12 cantos. Now we are in the third canto, 23 chapters. So it's a journey, and whoever has been attending from the beginning for so many years, they would have everything tracked properly. So here, Devhuti's pastime, it is discussed by Maitreya Muni and speaking to Vidura. Vidura is inquiring, so can you please describe how the Bhagavatam family tree, Swayambhu Manu and his progeny was expanded, and he has got two sons and three daughters, and how their children expanded further in this material world. So at the time, Maitreya Muni started speaking about Devhuti and how she has served her husband very nicely and fulfilling all his desires. And that is one side of Devhuti's side. And from the Kaddam Prajapati side, he has meditated on the Lord and how he engaged himself austerities and penances, got benedictions from the Lord, and how the marriage to happen, and arrangement of the life, further life after begetting children, and they raised and then taking the Vanaprastha ashrama. Okay, we can observe all these are the learning points, and then 100 years passed during their marriage time, and then now when the Kadma Prajapati, because he is remembering all these promises, and he knows he's a devotee means yasyasti bhaktir bhagavatyam kichana sarvaihi gunaihi tatra sarva samasati suraha. He has got all good qualities, godly qualities. So he knows what to do. Now time has come based on to fulfill his promise. He was leaving. Now Devhuti is reflection. She is now feeling about separation from her husband. Now she is speaking, reflecting what has happened, what she would have achieved in the past times. Okay, so this is like in the next. If we just hear this until the end of this chapter, then we would fully understand. I have given a glimpse of it, what the lamentation of Devhuti. The chapter is the lamentation of Devhuti. Because main thing is attachment. In this world, husband and wife and children, everyone are, because of attachment, it is very difficult for them to digest the separation. And for a devotees, because they understand, because some people come together in particular time, and then in due course of time they will get separated from their parents. It is everyone's experience. From now mother and father somewhere in different place, now we have got children. In due course of time our children will go somewhere else and they will establish further. So this is, we need to have that kind of work in such a way that we do not get entanglement with all this. Though we are executing duties, but within the heart we should not be attached. We can have love towards everyone, but not the attachment, because attachment vitaraga bhayakroda manmayamam upashritaha bhagavad jnana tapasa pota madbhavam agataha. One should live vitaraga bhayakroda. These are very important. Vitaraga bhayakroda manmayamam upashritaha bhagavad jnana tapasa pota. Everyone in the past, so many people, bhagavad jnana tapasa pota, purified themselves by tapasya, tapasa pota, madbhavam agataha. They have attained the nature of Krishna. So that is the real essence of what we need to learn from Devhuti and Kardama Prajapati's life, how Devhuti is lamenting now. If she has been, whenever Kardama Prajapati has offered Bhagat Prasadam to Devhuti, if she has taken at that point of time, then the life would have been in a different angle, possibly. If we see, for example, Ansuya Mata, who is the daughter of one of the 9 daughters begotten by Devhuti. She lived with her husband, Atri Maharshi, all the time. Atri Maharshi, we do not see that Atri Maharshi has left Ansayamata because they have always engaged themselves in the penances. And when it was the time for begetting the children, so then Atri Maharshi, they begot 3 children, that is the Dattatreya and Soma and Durvasa. Again, by her austerities, Anusaya Mata's austerities and penances, her devotion to her husband, she became so more powerful in such a way she could make even the 3 principal deities into the children. So that is one angle, Devhuti's daughter, Anusaya Mata. Now Devhuti, she wanted to enjoy, so Anga Sangaha, I wanted to have association with you, and Surata Utsukaha. She has got more sexual intelligence, that desires. Okay, because that is that desire itself is the enemy to us. Krishna says to Arjuna, why people they are forcibly engaged in the activities? Because the desire deeply rooted. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajo guna samudbhavaha. And that desire is covered by just giving analogies like the Lord gives. The baby is covered by the vulvana in the womb of the mother, and mirror is covered by the dust. A fire is covered by a smoke. In such a way, our desire is covered by the subtle body on top of this gross body, and got so many of family environment and then different kinds of job and activities. These are going through. Everything is because of the desire, deep desire. Kama yesha, Krodha yesha, Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. Devahuti was desiring such kind of desires to enjoy with her husband. Okay, so that is what the main problem is. Of course, it's not wrong, but the desire, it will give the lamentation. Initially, Sasajjha in the beginning, what is Amrit, whatever it feels, Parina Tadagre Vishamiva Parinami Amrutopamam. Initially it is bitter, but at the end it gives the Amrutam, sweet or the nectarian. That is the happiness in the mode of goodness. In the beginning, Tadagre Vishamiva Parinami Tadagre Amrutam. In the beginning it is Amruta, at the end it will end up with the hard and difficult times. That is happiness in the mode of passion. And happiness in the mode of ignorance, from beginning to end, everything is illusory and it gives troubles. So these are the different kinds of lessons we could learn from Devhuti's and Kardama Prajapati's life. But here, the main thing is the knot, that is attachment or sexual desire. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Very nicely explained.
Prabhuji, there's a question in the chat box from Hitesh Prabhu. Can I read out the question, please?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, just an opinion. Would it be Kardama Muni's life with Devahuti exemplifies ideal family life within Krishna consciousness?
So here, Devhuti Mata, she has served her husband to cooperate for all his austerities and penances. That is done. But whenever it comes to the time, starting from the enjoyment, even though he offered the Bhagavad Prasada, she did not take immediately. And then like she wanted a association, sexual association, and then later on, she also mentioned her desire is to have children. Of course, it is exemplifies ideal family life in Krishna consciousness, but they have engaged completely in the enjoyment. We do not see here in the scriptures that they have every day they are hearing Bhagavad Gita. But Devhuti's father, Swayambhu Manu, प्रतिभूषेषु अनुबद्धेन हृदा शृणुन् हरेः कथाः स एवं स्वान्तर्मिन्ये युगानां एकसप्ततिं वासुदेव प्रसंगेन परिभूत गतित्रयः. He has spent 71 yugas Vasudeva Prasangena Paribhuta Gatitraya, just being hearing and speaking of Bhagavad Gita, 71 yugas, he spent that life. Now here, if we look at this time, only 100 years passed. Devhuti and Kadma Prajapati, they spent time in the enjoyment. Now Kadma Prajapati is leaving home. So we see Swayambhu Manu's life as the ideal life. Here, Devhuti's life is pious. That way, she has served her husband. She wanted to have it children. Again, whenever a woman is asking for such desires, it is not always they are not. They are inspired by the divine nature. They are inspired by the divine. That one has to understand. Why? Because at that time, Brahma, he has asked Kadma Prajapati that, my dear child, you just go and expand the progeny. That is the main purpose. That's why Devhuti was inspired by the divine to beget a children, to have association with the Kadma Prajapati. That is the main purpose. That's why by them, so many of, now Ansuya Mata was married to Atri Maharshi and Kala was married to Marichi. Marichi begot child Kashyap Prajapati, who is again father of demons and Daityas, Ditis and the Diti children. So the progeny has to expand. Otherwise, if Devhuti is simply engaged in the austerities and penances, then it would be very hard to expand the progeny very quickly. So it is again divine arrangement. So there later on, Lord Brahma come to Devhuti and Kadma Prajapati. He appreciates Kadma Prajapati and Devhuti both. And you have heard my instructions. And then without nirvilikam and without any personal reservations. And then he appreciated, and now, O Kadama Prajapati, you give your daughters Yata Selam Yata Ruchi to all the Prajapatis. They are here now. So likewise here, just bringing here the Kadama Prajapati and all his daughters. And then he give all his daughters to all other Prajapatis, other sages. And then later on, Kapil Bhagwan also takes birth in the womb of Devhuti, and then in a privately he meets Kapil Bhagwan and then speaks to Kapil Bhagwan. Now, please give him permission. He knows that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sachavatinam Trigum Adnayum Budashabham Vivikta Upasangamya Pranamya Samabhashata. He speaks to Kapil Bhagavan. Now, my dear Lord, please give me permission. Parivrajit Padavim Astu Aham Charishe Tvam Yunjan Vishokaha. I wanted to take Parivrajat Padavim. I wanted to wander while glorifying your name, form, and activities. So, in such a way, Kadma Prajapati leaves. This is again Lord Brahma's instructions to Kadma Prajapati to expand the progeny. So that is, we see one angle. When the woman is inspired like that, it is the divine intervention. Ideal family life, we have got Rama and Sita. So most of the, and Swayambhu Manu's life like that. And here what we could have assumed, there is no chance for even assumptions also here, because it is a divine intervention. It is inspiring Devhuti to act like that. And of course, she's also ideal family. She spent ideal family life as well. Her realizations are, at the end we see, at the end of the third canto, all of her, she asked so much of questions to Kapil Bhagavan. The questions itself contain so much of knowledge, and we might have all these questions. How it is possible a spirit soul without a material body, it would exist? Such kind of questions, even it does not come into our thoughts. Such kind of questions she has asked. And then finally, she has given up the attachment to, even though her son Kapil Bhagavan is a supreme personality of Godhead, he also leaves the home, taking permission from Devhuti. And then because she has got a little bit of sad because husband left, and her son also leaves. And now she spends the rest of her life within that palace, but she is not interested in all those things, engaging herself in the devotional service, thoughts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as described by Kapil Bhagavan. And then she leaves her body and she attains the Kapil Bhagavan's planet. Okay, that is her life. And Kadma Prajapati, Prapta Bhagavati Gatihi, he also attained the Bhagavati Gatihi, attained the supreme abode of the Lord. That is Kadma Prajapati. So both lives were perfected. And some parts, if we see, Prudu Maharaj and Achi, they were born as a couple and they have left as a couple. They both attained the same planet and they went along together.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay. Yeah, and also, Neeraj Prabhuji, can you tell us who are Devhuti's children and why her son Kapila is so famous? So in this one, Bhagavatam family tree, we see, let me just open that one. Okay, this is the Bhagavatam family tree. We see there are 9 daughters born to Devhuti. There's Anusuya Mata, where we see here in this Bhagavatam. So if you look here, Devhuti is here, and she has got 9 daughters. One of those are Kala and Anusuya. Anusuya has got Soma, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and then Kala begotten is Marichi's wife, Kashyapa and Purnima. And then there are 7 other daughters. They were married to here, if we look at the further left side here. And Pulastya and this is Pulaha, Vasistha, and also Varuna, Vasistha's Maharshi's wife, Arundhati, is also daughter of Kadama Prajapati and Devhuti. So there are Kratu, Kriya, those names were given. And the Bhrugu's wife is Khyati. She is also daughter of Devhuti. And then Kratu, and Lord is, there is, yeah, these are the main ones. So in the previous chapters, it was those names were given. So, but mainly we would see this Kala is the, so here Kala, this is the, yeah, Kala is the wife of Marichi, and Ansuya Mata is wife of Atri. There are a few other names. Arundhati is wife of Vasistha Muni, like that. These are examples.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Any other questions, dear devotees? Okay, if there are no questions, then we shall conclude our session for tonight, and then we'll meet you in the next week, next Friday. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna to all.
Hare
पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय थैंक यू हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.